And so basically I created over, I don't know, 10 years. I was doing this sprouting of turmeric and ginger long before I made a video about it. And the method is simple and complex. And then I've got this stalker now telling me that I'm a liar and I didn't do this, and people have been doing this for thousands of years, even though they didn't have plastic, because of course I used plastic. And so I'm going to explain it to you, because I came across this and I developed it, and I've gone to great lengths to develop it, and it's more a study research. And that is, I love to study plants outside of the soil, and that's the main reason why I do it. And then what I do later is I plant them and I grow them. Wait a minute. And so what I have here is, these are 2-year-old corms. By 2 years I mean that I've grown them in containers indoors for 2 years, and now I'm doing, this is the kind of experiment that I do, and nobody does this, because if you do this they're going to die. So the stalker was saying, oh, you're a liar and you didn't create this, and they don't even know what I do, and they're coming from a channel, they don't even put their own videos up. So at least I show what I'm doing. But I'm going to show it again to make it clear, because this is important to me, and it's so easy to go onto social media and start making all kinds of claims that you can't back up, and putting people down. And I can back it all up, and so I'm going to back it up. So this is the fact, this is the reality, and what you have here, this is the kind of thing that I do. Now these have been sprouting. I cover them in plastic, keep them moist, and I have other methods that I use that I haven't documented. And so this is a new method, a new way that I'm trying, that is complex and that no one else does. And then I observe over time what the results are, but I can only observe that outside of the soil. If I have successful little sprouts and I plant them, I'm not going to know what's really happening. And so I'll sometimes study growing plants, I mean for sure 6 months. These I've been studying for, I would say, 4 months outside of the soil. They had completed their cycle. They had already completed 2-year cycles. I took them out of the container, and I'm doing this. And then I can see success or not. But you can't do this in a hot climate outside in the garden, because they'll die. They can't take the heat. And also it's difficult to grow turmeric and ginger in a cold climate. And I have a lot of success with growing outdoors, most especially in strawbale, and I'll go back to that later because I'm not there right now. And I have a 1-year turmeric and ginger crop that I'm now doing this with in the strawbale garden, and they love the strawbale. But no one taught me that. The plants teach me, because when I plant them I either have success or not, and then I know. And I know the soil and the way to do it in a cold climate. When they're native, they are natives of a totally different climate than Northern Europe, and especially cold and the kind of conditions that we have. And so I do this mostly indoor, In containers I have fantastic success. Indoor, even though they're only getting indirect light through the window. And this, you can see, well, I think many of you will understand what I'm doing because it's a research, right? So these are growing totally different than the store-bought, although I did buy. These are organic store-bought ginger corms. And if I don't start this process that I do in the plastic, and it doesn't just go over days or weeks, I do this over months. If I don't start my method with these, they'll just die. They won't sprout. I've had them for some time. So I have different methods that I use, and different ways to stimulate the growth. And then after 2 years, I will get my own plants, my own ginger and turmeric corms that totally change because the environment is different, and that's also what I'm studying. And for me, what you see here is an absolute big success. And I'm just going to say that no one is doing this. This is more research. It takes a long time, a lot of patience, and you have to pretty much know what you're doing. And if I would put them outside, even in a container, they would die because either in some conditions it's way too hot, you just can't do it, or in other conditions it's way too cold. And also they don't like the change from cold, warm, so I'll explain the strawbale success later in another video.